And welcome back. Let's get you a market check right now because, Bill, the Dow is down around 1,000 right now. And, of course, this is coming amidst the Iran conflict, but is there another explanation that you know?
Well, oil prices are surging again today. So you got the price of crude. It's up, what? I think it's $12 to $15 a barrel over the last 24 to 36 hours. The Dow's down 2%. The S&P, the broader market's down about, not quite 2%. The NASDAQ hit 2%. It's coming back a little bit, also down about 2% in trading right now. So this is the financial impact when investors are not sure about what's around the corner. So stand by and we'll watch that throughout the day.
We will.
Yeah, I mean, yesterday we were down at the open and we finished almost
flat.
up, across the board. So, all right, long day ahead there. In the meantime, at 13 minutes before the hour, want to get to this right now. Sad update of a story we talked about yesterday. There is a third person who has now died in that mass shooting in Austin, Texas over the weekend. The FBI investigating as a potential act of terrorism. Live in Dallas, Brooke Taylor has the fallout for us today. Hello, Brooke.
Hi, Bill. Yeah, the FBI and local police say they are conducting interviews. They're going through physical evidence and looking through all the video they have to try and see if this was an act of terrorism. So officials, though, say it's too early to say whether the shooting was a motive that now left 3 people dead and 13 others injured. Police say the suspect started shooting at people outside a popular college bar near the University of Texas hours after Iran's supreme leader was killed. The shooter, who was holding a rifle right here and wearing a hoodie with "Property of Allah" written across the front and a T-shirt with an Iranian flag underneath, was killed by officers just under a minute later. Police identify him as Njaga Junya, a 53-year-old naturalized U.S. citizen who was born in Senegal and had been living near Austin.
We are pouring through thousands of hours of video. We have massive amounts of both digital and physical evidence. And this is a around-the-clock, 24-hour investigation at this point.
And the victims have been identified as 19-year-old Ryder Harrington, 21-year-old Savitha Shawn, who was a student at the University of Texas, and 30-year-old Jorge Pedersen. Officials say that the shooter was not on their radar prior to this mass shooting, Bill.
Okay, thank you. Brooke Taylor there live in Dallas, Texas. Brooke, thank you for that. Dana's got more now.
Yes, I want to bring in Texas Senator John Cornyn. He sits on the Judiciary and Foreign Relations Committees, and this, of course, happened in your home state. Concerns about either investigation of this particular person. Was he a lone wolf? Do we know any more? And what else can Texas do to protect from others, from copycats?
Well, I talked to Kash Patel, and he told me that they are continuing to investigate. Austin Police Department are, as you heard, interviewing various witnesses and the like. But I have to tell you, just the things like the sweatshirt he was wearing and the T-shirt underneath with the Iranian flag on it sure seems to point to a radicalized individual. Unfortunately, during 4 years of the Biden administration, we saw a tsunami of people coming into the country, and unfortunately, many of them were unvetted and, of course, now radicalized. And this is a sad but familiar story.
A terrible story indeed. On the Iran attack, I want to play for you something from Nancy Pelosi, because you've been in Congress for a long time. You've seen this go back and forth between presidents in terms of the applicability and legality of the War Powers Act. Here's Nancy Pelosi saying Obama didn't need authorization to bomb Libya.
Madam Leader, you're saying that the president did not need authorization initially and still does not need any authorization from Congress on Libya?
Yes.
Thank you, folks.
Thank you all very much.
Senator, Democrats have a different tune today, and I understand there might be a War Powers resolution that they put on the floor of the Senate.
Well, we'll be having an important debate, but you know, it's amazing to me how Trump derangement syndrome causes Democrats to choose the wrong side almost on every occasion. We saw that at the State of the Union, and now they're choosing the side of the #1 state sponsor of international terrorism that was happy to enrich uranium and potentially build a nuclear weapon that had ballistic missiles that's capable of destroying Israel and starting a war in the Middle East. I applaud President Trump for his courage. This is there's some risk associated with this, but so far the United States military has operated in magnificent fashion, as we saw with taking out the nuclear weapons program earlier and the extraction of Nicolas Maduro from Venezuela. It makes me very proud.
Senator, you are in Texas today. There is a primary today. Republicans and Democrats going to the polls, and you are in a heated battle with not only Ken Paxton, the Attorney General, but also Wesley Hunt, the Congressman. Here is what Paxton said about his ability to win the GOP runoff.
I think he spent close to $100 million. I've spent around $3 million. They have definitely pumped the money in from Washington, D.C. I don't think it's going to matter in the end. Obviously, those commercials have been on all day, every day for about 6 months. But we're going to win this, and I think there's a slight chance that we could win this without a runoff.
Neither of you, or the three of you, neither of you, and any of you, was able to get the endorsement of President Trump. So, without that endorsement right now, how do you think this ends up today?
Well, he's called all three of his friends, and I understand not wanting to pick among your friends, but Republican primary voters are going to need to decide, do we want to win? Do we want to keep Texas red? If the Attorney General is the nominee, that risks everything we've been working on for decades in Texas with Republican leadership and conservative policies, which have made Texas the envy of the nation. All that's at risk, including President's second-term agenda, even potentially a new Supreme Court vacancy, and he would get.
Let me ask you one last question, because President Trump won Texas by 13 points, I think. I asked the guy in charge of the board to tell me this morning. So President Trump won so handily. There are some crazy, insane Democratic primary turnout numbers right now.
Yeah.
Are you concerned that if you don't win this primary, because you think you should win, could Texas Democrats actually win this Senate seat in November?
Absolutely. There's a chance of that, and that's the only reason why Tallarico and Jasmine Crockett are running. Jasmine Crockett said, if I'm the nominee, Democrats can't win, yet she decided to run, and I think she's doing that on the hope that Ken Paxton is the nominee with all of his scandals and baggage, and they'll be able to turn this Senate seat blue in November.
Senator Cornyn, we will be paying attention. Polls close at 9 p.m. Eastern tonight. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Dana.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.